Good morning and welcome to today's section of Market Mantra, and I am Ansu John. Headlines: Census Nifty ending green, SEBI to probe in mid-cap crash. Railway budget 2013-14, train travel may cost more with passenger amenities says. We'll look briefly into the matter now. Key equity benchmarks ended trade on Monday flat with a positive bias. The Sensex closed up 14.68 points at 19,331 and the Nifty ended up 4.45 points at 58.54. Technology firms such as Infosys rose on hope of the 2013-14 budget would provide incentives for exporters, while ONGC on the other hand fell on the worries about a potentially higher oil subsidy burden. Infosys provisionally rose 2.8% while ONGC fell 2.15% ahead of the 2013-14 budget to be presented on Thursday. Sadbhav Engineering rallied over 3% on getting order worth Rs 697 crore from CIL arm of Northern Coalfields. Orient Green Power Company rose 10% as the Shriram Group, the promoter group, announced an open offer to buy 26% stake in the company at a price of Rs 15 per share, nearly 15% higher over its Friday's closing price. Ranbaxy Laboratories is up 5%. HSBC raised its rating on shares of Ranbaxy Laboratories to overweight from underweight after the Indian drug maker said it would resume production of a generic version of cholesterol fighter Lipta for sales in the United States. However, shares of a host of mid-cap and small-cap companies yesterday crashed in the stock market, plunging as much as 60% in some cases. Amid panic selling on speculations of sale of pledged shares, stock exchanges and market regulator SEBI immediately began looking into the matter to probe any possible foul play after a huge sell-off was witnessed in shares of mid-cap and small-cap. The BSE mid-cap and small-cap indices were down 1.33% each. And now to the Indian Railway budget. Train travel is expected to get costlier. According to sources, the government is likely to introduce a fuel adjustment component and a passenger amenities cess, which will contribute to a hike in fares. The Railway budget 2013 may not be as populist as the people expect it to be. The Railway budget 2013 will be the first by a Congress minister in 17 years and is likely to pinch you a bit more. However, there is good news in the offing. Sources say that an additional Rajdhani is likely to be introduced between Delhi and Mumbai. Two are already running between the two destinations. Also, several railway works could come under the MNREGA, the flagship program of the UPA, which would widen the program scope. Reportedly, Rural Development Minister Jairam Ramesh has accepted this proposal of the Railway Ministry. Stocks to look out for the day. Pantaloon Retail India reported October-December net loss of 204.1 million rupees against a profit of 56.4 million rupees a year ago. Net sales rose 17.6% on year to 12.53 billion rupees. Bharat Heavy Electricals has signed an MOU with Indian Railways to set up a mainline electric multiple unit coach manufacturing facility at Bhilwara. Koi Education has said the 62% decline in its share price on Monday was not triggered by sales of pledged shares. And now to ITC, is planning to enter the ready-to-drink juice business within next 2 months. Currencies. The rupee is likely to trade in a thin band until Thursday as traders may avoid heavy positions ahead of the union budget. February currency future market will be closed today by 12 p.m. Global stock markets. US indices fell to their lowest level since November on Monday as Italian elections reflected marginally higher support for parties opposed to economic reforms. Asia, most Asian indices fell sharply due to worries that the European debt crisis could be extended owing to emerging political uncertainty in Italy. Range for today's Nifty Spot. Nifty Spot for the last few days was moving in a narrow range. Yesterday, the index took support around the lower end of the band at 58.20 and closed better than the previous day. Immediate resistance for the index is placed at 58.80 and 59.20. Only a two-day close above 59.20 can confirm that the short-term correction is over. Thank you and have a nice day.